April, with the idea, the end of April, we'll get pretty close. May will show the,
Public comment.
yeah, we'll start, set it out for public comment. We'll probably do more than one public comment period. So our goal is to try May and June to do both. Because, you know, same thing. So if you got people that want to be involved, encourage them to continue to be a part of that.
And it's still on the website.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
QR code.
Yep. Subdivision regulations, just to let you know, I think we'll finalize these tomorrow night for comeback. So what this does, remember, this gives you, zoning is one thing. These are specifics to how you're going to build curbs, gutters, streets, and that sort of thing. And it gives you some more ammunition to control the quality elements in those subdivision developments. So I think we're there. Joey hadn't given me anything that changes any of that. So that's not on that list, but I just want to bring it because I'm asking them to approve that tomorrow night. So the IBC codes, get that out from me. Lord. So IBC was, you know, we started talking about this in July of last year. So,
We're tired carrying it around.
well, that's all right, you know, it's okay. Better to dwell into it and dig into it. So I need y'all's direction. What else I want to change on this? You know, there was some discussion in my notes about, you know, some of the concerns were the permitting cost and the violation cost. And the reality is, if you go back and you read the code itself, the reality is that, well, it's less, ours is less than what was proposed. So I think that was just a misnomer. I don't think it's intentional on anybody's part. But you can set that amount to wherever you want it. I think for us, the real question is when you were looking back, like at new construction exceeding 50% of improvements residential property, that was the definition. The porta potty was obviously one, have a construction dumpster was obviously one. Erected weatherproof permit holder was obviously, those things were additions to what the IBC code. So what I need from y'all is what changes do you want to make? And we're certainly open to make any of those changes.
About the dumpster, when we originally put it in there, we've had it to be put out there at the beginning of construction. That don't need to be
After the initial grading is
after
done.
the initial grading.
That was where we left it. Thank you for reminding.
That's where it needs to stay.
That's what it needs to be.
It's on there.
But we just needed to, I didn't know what it been.
Well, again, we've updated this. I'm trying to see what y'all want from, you know, what other
I
changes.
thought we
you
got
wanna
it,
make.
don't we? Did they not do everything? Everyone had done? I don't know, I
I
thought,
just want to make sure everybody's happy. We can change
See
anything
nothing
we
needs
want.
changing.
I thought we had to go, I
Yep.
thought this gets all the changes right here.
Well, I think there was still some discussion, and I think the same things. There was a perception we were doing some things that weren't required, and these are flexibility. You can adopt these or not.
Is there any way we can get a list of what cost them permitting for each what they're doing?
Sure.
Right now, they need to be out there to the general public.
Oh, it's out. We got a board. We got it up on the board. You can walk in here and get it anytime you want.
Well, I didn't know that. I was just asking.
So it was interesting. We were doing a comparison. I think I shared this with you. The difference between us and Hall County was $1,400. Oh, $1,400. And, you know, it's not a moneymaker for us. There's, you know, I mean, we're basically passing along. We get a per square footage deal. Other than that, we're passing most of the cost along. But again, that's something you probably should revisit anyway. But everybody will have that. I'll send it to you as an email and put it in your box. So. All right, y'all good here?
I don't see in here, something brought up about doing roofing permits,
The what?
about roof permits,
Roofing.
roofing permits.
It's not in there.
Isn't that in there? Don't you think that should be added?
I checked with, we did a surrounding community and we couldn't find one that charges for permits
The reason I'm saying that,
and inspection.
the reason I'm saying that is if it's permitted, the shingle company, if they had to go back out there.
They come back after the city. That's right.
They'll come back out that, no, they'll come back out there and, if it's permitted, they'll replace it, the shingles instead of, the roofer.
Well, we can certainly consider that.
Guarantee the replacement. I mean, once it's permitted, that's what an insurance investigator told me, that,
So who told you
an
that?
insurance investigator.
So the problem is we have to inspect it when the roof is stripped. I mean, that, I'm telling you what we've encountered. You have to, because if there's any boards that need to be replaced,
Right.
the inspector has to be on site that they were replaced.
Right.
And then, once the shingles are installed, they have to be in sight while it's being installed. And that's almost impossible under what, under our we contract that labor right now. So their flexibility, like if you call us up and say, I need an inspection, we take 24 to 48 hours. Normally we get it done in 24 hours.
Well, there's some of these roofers that go out there and just roof over something that's already there.
Oh, I think that happens.
Civil lawsuits.
Yeah,
That's when they civil lawsuits.
yeah, I think that happens more than not.
But they don't replace wood that's rotten,
But
leak through, and that needs to be looked at too.
again, that, putting that responsibility, I've had this phone call. My roof was guaranteed for 25 years and it's only went 18 years. I got to replace it. And what's the city going to do about it? It's not ours.
Guy called me the other night after that storm went through. It hadn't been through 30 minutes. Won't come check my shingles. I said, no.
Lord knows that.
He said, have you got insurance? I said, I told you I don't want you.
But you
That
see,
storm hadn't been through
that's-
30 minutes.
That's what worries me more than anything else. People come up and they said, and these are, like,
Fly by night.
well, no, the one I'm thinking about, the example I gave, the woman said, I bought my house brand new and we put on 25-year shingles and I've had my house for 18 years and they tell me I need a new roof. What's the city going to do about it? They inspected it. Well, ironically, when this happened, which was probably 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't have anybody doing inspections back then. But I can see her point, but we just can't be the ones that warrant the life of the shingle.
I would just say,
It's y'all's call.
Putting more cost out there on everybody.
yeah, but look,
Well, that would be 2 inspections. So look at it this way.
Right
That's
there.
$160 right there.
Yep.
and see, I saw a lot of them go down re-roof for places not putting the drip cap on, and they supposed to have one, edge cap around, all the way around.
Yep.
When you put a new roof on.
I don't disagree with you one at all, but that's somewhat back to the buyer beware.
What, Joe?
Buyer beware.
Yeah.
It's hiring a reputable company that's going to do it right to begin with.
I'm saying, I see one change here, you need to change the dates. If you're gonna send it out.
Oh, God knows we need to change all that.
October,
October, I know that was a little bit dated, wasn't it?
he just jumped out at when I was,
Oh, no.
didn't want to see it again, okay?
Well, you see, the public comment was October 17th. That was on the front page.
Yeah.
See you, brother?
See how.
So do you want us to look at roofing? I just talked with our,
Check with Hall County, check with James.
I know Hall County doesn't do it. Now, I'll double check with Gainesville, but I understand unless you're doing structural, they won't permit it. But I'll find out. But I need to check with our inspector too for their availability. Because when we looked at it last time, same thing. They had to be there the day that the old roof was removed and then the decking was replaced, and they had to be there during the installation.
that becomes a problem of getting them people
Well,
together.
yeah, that's.
Them are working and her there, or
Well,
whoever.
we'll see.
Well, that was just like I had to, not too long ago, I had to have my roof replaced on the house. They sent what guy trying to do it. That piece of plywood, it had a leak in it. Of course, I got the insurance covered, it was weather related, wind damage. But that the leak guy, and he wasn't gonna replace that piece of decking. So I said, no, you ain't putting that roof on now without that. You'll get your ass up that roof. See my mind. You'll get your ass over that roof, somebody else gonna come in and do it. If I hadn't been there, he wouldn't replace it, he just went ahead.
Yeah, well, you're the perfect example of Joe's statement, buyer beware. You knew what you were looking for. And you take the little old lady and she does it.
Well, I knew what my insurance was looking for, too.
Yep. And that's a shame, but you know, that's like, I had a guy call me the other day, don't y'all hate these phone calls? No good plumber? No, I don't. And I laughed at the guy and
I say, oh, they
I said, I know an expensive plumber, does that mean anything to you? So he's moving in on County Line Road. And, anyway, then he wanted to know, you know, we're a resource for, you know, a good grader? No, but I know an expensive grader, does that help you any? Because I mean, you know, they think that there's some accountability on our part, that there isn't any accountability. Anyway, all right, so everything else is good. I will look into the roof permits. I should have that the next day or two to tell you, but I think the only way Gainesville will permit it is if it's structural on any roof work. But let's see what they say. I know Hall County doesn't permit it. We'll double check with them as well.
I just like to see, does any of them do it?
Yep.
What what the problem they run into with it.
Well, you know, the one thing is, it certainly would add $160 to their cost of permit. That's the one thing. That might not make
Won't make them
mama
happy.
happy. And that would be a pass-through. We wouldn't be making a dime on it. Proposed variance for Shockley Road, event venue, planning commission. That's up for, consideration. I think it's April 4th. It's in everybody's box. Proposed Belton Bridge development. The reason I bring that one up is because I sent them a letter, which I think I have a copy of here.
That really gonna try our road up out there.
So I sent this letter to A.R. Homes back on February 2nd. I was responding to their request for approval. And I copied y'all on this, never got an answer. And I expected what would happen next is I'd hear from their attorneys. But I hadn't heard squat from them.
got other problems on this.
Well, good.
They got other problems over yonder now.
Well, as long as it isn't on us. You know, but
I know he's making.
I'm just letting y'all know that, you know, I kind of, you know, this one bothers me because they're proposed, you know, they can just walk in here. So, you know, I gave it probably pretty extensive. I expected a phone call back today. If you look at their original email, they were trying to go to the bank for financing. And they wanted me to sign off on it. Well, I wasn't about to sign off on the thing. They got too much work to still do. But I hadn't heard from them. So no phone calls, no nothing. So I'm just keeping you apprised of that. Because, you know, same thing. Thought that might end up being a little lawsuit. Proposed variance on Norton, 6203 Carter Street.
Finally came in here.
Huh?
Finally came in with it.
No, they didn't finish the application yet. I called them 2 weeks ago and said, they gave me like 2 pages. None of the details or anything. This is up on Carter Street up here. And so I called them again last week, sent them another email last week, copied Teresa on it for fear they'd walk in the door. They didn't give us the $300. They hadn't given us $300, so I reminded them, you got to fill out all these 8 more pages of stuff and give us $300. Well, sure enough, they snuck in here, gave us $300 and didn't give us the other 8 pages. So I don't know if that'll be on, we're running out of daylight. If it'll be on the April agenda or not, but it's no fault of ours. So that's just to keep y'all in the loop on that one. Parking issues, we talked about, we would talk about parking. I didn't know if you wanted that. I thought y'all said you wanted to hear the downtown parking issues. Or, we currently have posted some signs up downtown for limitation of 2-hour parking. Felton brought up, as you know, the Hispanic restaurant down here and the adjoining property is, they can use the right of way. We don't care. Now, there's a question as whether or not, with the property owner, I would suggest strongly we don't get in the middle of that.
We don't know who the problem is. We don't know who the problem is.
No, where'd this come from?
Felton had their nine.
Huh?
Felton had his nine.
Well, this isn't the way this works.
I know.
So when I was down there the other day, Felton told him, I'm sitting there trying to enjoy lunch. Good, by the way. And Felton walks in and goes, well, here's the guy that's going to get you the property next door. And I turned right around and I said, listen, don't listen to him. That isn't what's happening here.
I thought crap too, but
What'd he say?
Porch on right side of building for seating.
12 by 25, but I'm not sure he even owns the property to put that porch on.
At 12 by 20 on backside, lit porch for sitting and parking on front side. I don't understand it. Do you understand it?
Halfway.
Porch on right side. So if we're looking at the building.
Yeah. Michael Brown owns a building next door, the underground building.
Yep.
There's some space in between there. I'm not sure exactly who owns it. I think Michael Brown owns it too. I'm not sure. He's proposing to put a deck in there, additional seating in between the buildings. I don't think you have to renew it. Guess that's the right way to go about it. I told Phil, I said, talk to Michael Brown, buy the property.
Yeah, that's what I asked him. When I was down there, I said, did you ever talk to him? Because I got him his telephone number, and he never had. Felton said, I'll call him. He won't return a phone call.
Anyway, some of us are trying to get us in the middle of it. I just want to make sure you see.
I'll make copies of this for everybody. We'll figure that out. All right.
They came at the same time the Mexican restaurant adjoining property. That's why I brought it up to you.
Yeah, no, it's perfect time. So what do we want to do about downtown parking? There was some discussion, do we hand out permits if you're a resident and you're downtown? This is not as big of an issue as everybody would have you believe.
Did you ever get your problem resolved about the parking period? The tow driver, did you ever get a chance on that?
So Joey and I should finish that up where we can come back. We do want a tow service.
Yeah,
But
but it's not,
again,
not necessarily downtown, is what that is.
well, yeah, we just want to have the right to be able to use. This will be a not cost to the city type deal at the end of the day. So we want to have storage fees defined. So that way, when we put up a sign that says, park here, you'll be towed, you'll pay
we can
this
find out.
price and this price and this price. So other than that,
That's not the same.
we don't have, an issue downtown. I know you've heard. And yes, I hope you grow to where you have an issue downtown. But we took down all the 2-hour parkings that were the concern across from the Mercantile Mart and Roy's Place and that sort of thing. And the only problem we have now, and y'all seen it, my car's for sale. This is where I'm going to park it.
Yep. That's what
Where to get attention.
that's why I put up there to start
Down the
with.
pole. That's why they got up there to begin with.
This has just went through my mind, but I'll forget it if I don't bring it up. A lady asked me the other day, would the city of Lula care if they put a banner up for the egg hunt at Homer this year?
On the fence, on the fence.
Summer's in Lula. She said that.
Put it on the fence. That's what
That's what everybody else.
everybody put it on the fence.
I told her I
We
didn't
have a
think it'd
problem
run
with it.
in no problem.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, Liberty Baptist does all the time.
Yep.
I told her I didn't think it'd be no problem, but I would ask.
Yep.
That's a good.
First come, first serve. So, because that usually Liberty or somebody puts a banner up there for the holidays as
Yeah.
well. This is kind of a strange one. I just want to let y'all know. So this is over off Toon Street, Cynthia Meyer's house. And she wants, this really goes to the street committee, but this is a strange little deal. She said that her existing brand new house, how old's that house, Joe? 5 years? If that,
Right at there, right?
yeah. Anyway, she said the whole bottom, they're gonna have to replace all the floor joists and everything. Because the drainage off that property. Well, I know they carry a lot of water through there. I mean, I've seen it before. But, you know, they've got that driveway that goes up behind, and I think that's part of the problem. Goes up behind the house. So now they want to build a new garage and have a new driveway off Tune Street. I'm gonna tell you, because of the drainage out there, worries me that eventually someday they'll come back and say, the city said.
I made mine there, young.
It worries me a little bit, you know, now, and ironically, she was in telling a story about having to replace all the floor joists and everything. And that's not on this application. This is to build a new garage and move the existing storage building away from the house. What I think happening is they built a house here, the old storage building was here, and now when that water hits that old storage building, comes around hitting that foundation on the new house. But not ours to decide. But like I said to Teresa, I said, well, I need a driveway request on that because I can't do anything with it. But this one worries me a little bit. So it's and they built a really nice
Here's his house,
home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not not a problem with the new driveway, is it?
Well, because I think it's
Great road to start with.
I think it's wrong to begin with. That's what
Great road to start with.
Yep. That's what I
Could have built on a small lot and
It's not a it's a gravel driveway, and I think they just created a berm where now the water just flows. And where does water go? The least line of resistance. So I don't understand the story about her floor joists in her house. Because if I remember right, that was a poured foundation. It wasn't slab or anything else like that. So I don't know what the deal is that's going on with that.
waterproof spelled on it, so blame on the city.
Well,
Waterproof.
there's no discussion about the city, and we're not gonna get in the middle of that, but I mean, it's kind of concerning. So I don't have anything else. What else y'all got for me? Because you know, we gotta talk to that doggone street committee next. Oh, they're in the room, never mind.
Bring them on.
That's a good one for y'all to talk to.
Yeah, they're worse, but we won't talk about them either.
I just blamed on Tony a while ago, and usually they're worse. I just blamed on Tony.
I like going, guys.
I guess this will go on to about 10:30, 11.
Oh, my gosh.